in pit, but he took fuel only.
I got to tell you this about Earnhardt real quick. Larry said that he'd get on Earnhardt and said, don't you think Auto?
Around. Hard in the wall.
Oh, that was a hard lick.
And that is Brian Vickers.
Another right rear tire went down to me.
My gosh, that was a hard lick.
You know, we saw that car really dancing around. You made a comment about it, DW. And the next thing you know, he went to go into turn 1, and the car just turned around.
Oh my God! Yes. You got to have some sort.
Right up ahead, right in the middle.
Bam! Gosh, that was hard hit.
He almost missed it.
Tonight, and the cars are probably running 200+ miles an hour as they go off into turn 1. Watch this thing.
You can see just a little bit of smoke come off this 14 car just as he starts to get into turn 1. You can start to see the sidewall of the tire hanging out.
There she goes.
There's just nothing you can do in that situation.
Goodness.
Oh, Clint Boyer just caught him. Let's ride with Kurt Busch in the 41 through this.
Smoke in there in front of you then. Keep coming. There you go.
Kurt did an awesome job recognizing that something was wrong and going on. Maybe he could see that smoke, and you could see he started lifting much earlier than cars around him, trying to anticipate it and get out of the way. And I think he did a great job. For the most part, missing it. I think might be a little bit of damage on the right side.
All those blue blocks you saw, that's safety foam between the outer door skin and the roll cage. 6 cars involved. It's trying to gang up on the outside. Now Logano drops to the bottom in front of Matt Kenseth. And a car's in the wall. It is Kurt Busch.
Wow, it looked like something. That looked like a tire.
Yeah, almost like that damage he had on the right rear.
Oh, there's more smoke
something else going on the back straight. Big wreck.
Big wreck on the back. Holy smoly.
Wow, I did not see that.
Logano and Edwards running right at the front, and McMurray trying to sneak past.
There's Carl
Eric Almirola, Kyle Busch.
Everybody is in there.
Is there anybody that didn't crash?
Another
Kurt Busch high on the outside, the black car toward the back.
Yeah, we saw him. He goes up the hill. Looks like lost the right rear tire, maybe.
Pretty good chance of that. He definitely was loose right there going in there.
And so we're watching him and what he's going to do.
Let's watch from the Goodyear blimp and see what happens at the front of the field.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Edwards and Keselowski touch.
And then they maybe touch again.
Squeeze play.
No, you know, Mears in the 13 bammed into the 2 of Keselowski and shot him into the 19 of Edwards.
I'd love to hear the 19 car spotter to see if he thought he was clear there, because he definitely squeezed that 2 up there, and I don't know if he was quite clear of it.
I believe the 13 got into the back of the 19 and drove him forward.
Easy, get middle.
You could tell right there that the 2 saw the 19 coming up and was one to check up. The 13 got into the back of him, and the whole line started stacking back up.
Yeah, tempo.
This is looking off turn 2. And things jam up in a hurry.
Man, how many wrecks do you see on the back straightaway? I mean, one right after another.
Well, and the thing that happens here late in the race, nobody's checking up. And this is when I say bumper cars at 200 miles per hour, because it really is. Nobody's going to check up.
When he gets down here for the win.
Wow.
Whoa! No, that's
clear.
it.
They're wrecking behind you.
It's all at the back. We may make it to the checkered flag. The wreck is at the tail end.
They're 2 by 2. You're clear by 2.
Leaders on the back straightaway. Coming hard. Caution waves. It's over. Here's the mayhem on the last lap.
So it looked like Hamlin put a big block on the 27 car. The 20 gets right in there behind Menard, and then as they got into turn 1, it looked like they just ran out of room between the 20 and the 1. He was already side by side with the 2, and then caught up the 78 in that as well.
Wow, just one wreck right after another. It's amazing.
So when that little incident happened, when the 11 blocked the 27's run and the 20 was right behind him, it just stalled him out a little bit, and that 1 car had momentum coming right to the center. He saw an overs behind you to get momentum and get a big run on you. We heard Denny Hamlin in that first duel talk about getting a run.
Whoa, baby.
Busch to block, down to the bottom, up to the top. Busch to block.
No. Blocking. Yeah.
Trash heap.
No, we're enough. Grass at 2.
What a mess.
Matt Kenseth. His car pretty well torn up, not wild. Let's have a look.
Now, this is just a sign of how bad everybody wants to win this race. Jamie McMurray, great restrictor plate driver. He gets a good run, but he doesn't quite get there. And then he moves up to block the 48, who has a good run coming on the outside. They make contact. And here's the results of that.
Kurt Busch just went right through there in a shower of sparks. Here are the three most badly damaged cars, and Danica Patrick as well.
You can see where Jimmie Johnson just started to get a bumper to the rear bumper or the quarter panel of the one.
Man, look at that 20 car go up under the back of the Martin Truex car. Just lifted it off the ground.
Let's have a look from the Goodyear blimp at the overlap between the 1 and 48 as they come through the tri-oval here. So there is Jimmie Johnson, third in line.
You're going to see the number 1 of Jamie McMurray getting a big run here. He's got a little bit more of a gap to the 48 than I think he'd like. He tried to make the move. Kyle closed the door. He comes up. He knows if he gets in front of Jimmie Johnson, that's going to be the push that he needs to get by the 18. Unfortunately, he was just a little late getting there, and then they make contact and turn Jimmy all the way around, and then he gets hit from behind.
Well, McMurray had to, I mean, when the 18 was so far out in front, McMurray had this incredible run, and he was coming up on the back of Kyle Busch.
That was DiBenedetto first into the outside wall.
Well, he got a double whammy.
Buescher.
Anytime you see the rear tires lift up off of a car as it makes impact, you know that's a huge hit.
What I don't like about that is that Buescher hit the wall head on, and then he got hit by DiBenedetto here in the driver's or in the right side, trying to get a double whammy here.
Can't quite grasp what turned both of those cars. No. They weren't really right together when they came into frame and headed towards the wall.
This has to go. You're riding with Biffle.
He gets a big run here on Danica. Goes to the inside. Danica wants to squeeze him and try to prevent him from making that pass. He clips her and turns her right into the grass, and unfortunately he turns himself as well into that outside wall.
A lot of movement of these cars down the back straight. We see Danica in the 10 right there. There she goes down on the inside. That car really got light. The wheels come off the ground. Roof lid.
Wow.
Push it back down.
That is turf management at its worst right there.
Spectacular. Kevin Harvick, he spun the tires when he went to third gear.
Crash back straightaway. This will be the race.
The race is over.
Here they come. Around to the line, looking for the flag. 4 cars involved in the back. Johnson takes the white flag. Dale Jr., Kyle Busch, caution is out. It's over in Atlanta.
Wow.
Timeline on the backstretch. That was the official restart of overtime. The next flag would end the race. They did come to the line for the white flag under green. Caution out. David Reagan, Eric Almirola, and others involved.
And Kevin Harvick's got to be sick.
Yeah, he spun the tires. He got up to speed pretty good in second gear, but then when he went to go to third, you could see he spun the tires a little bit, or late in second gear. Then he got hit from behind, and then Carl Edwards came in there and took them all 3 wide.
See what happened
deep in the field on the back straightaway. Cars go spinning, including David Reagan, who ended up against the outside wall. That's Almirola smoking. On the left is Reagan. There's at least 4 cars involved. Another look in progress. There's Almirola. Reagan, Ryan Blaney, And the fourth car involved was Landon Castle.
About mid-pack there, a bunch of those wave around cars.
What a wild finish.
That doesn't come as a real big surprise, does it?
And you know, those were a lot of cars that had not taken tires, so they're on older tires back there, battling for those positions with a lot less grip.
Yep.
That was incredible.
Whoa, trouble.
2 cars around.
Great till he gets in the back.
A lot of cars.
Watch your inside. Block her down.
A lot of cars.
Incredible save not to spin out, but then unfortunately those behind him just couldn't get slowed down.
They were 4 wide. They were 4 wide going into turn 1.
Poor Matt Kenseth's woes continue.
And look at your buddy here, Chase Elliott.
Chase had a great race going.
Great run going.
Matt Kenseth, no luck in Vegas. Started.
Well, they get 4 wide, Mike. They went in here in a big wide, and they just can't make it.
20 on the inside, the yellow car.
Oh, the 21 dove in behind him. When he got in behind him, that 78 was on the outside of him, just took the air right off him. He did a great job, but unfortunately, Chase Elliott had nowhere to go.
Kurt Busch sliding by.
Kurt Busch, the 19 of Carl Edwards, spins and connects, makes contact with the 24 Chase Elliott. A lot of damage to that 20 car.
They just got all wadded up coming down here in the corner, and I didn't see any way they were going to make it.
You know, this is at that point in the race where nobody's going to check up. Everybody's got to run hard to get every single position they can.
How'd anybody get through that smoke screen behind them?
Well, they've been running in a dust storm, so I guess a little smoke didn't hurt anything.
That's true. Let's ride with Kevin Harvick.
He had a front row for that one. Yeah, it looked like the 41 tried to get inside the 19, and
no room.
They made no room. They made contact.
Just not any room.
Saw Clint Boyer go down on the apron to miss this. We're going to ride with him. Tyler Green, McMurray's spotter. Nice job. So we are back under caution. Left of your screen is Kyle Busch, and around goes Kyle Larson.
Man, big impact. Man, thank God that safer barrier's there, but that was still a huge impact.
Second caution of the day, lap 48.
That thing hit head on.
Did you see it go up in the air?
Top of the screen.
Way up the top up there. Coming.
Oh, yeah, you can see right there. Left rear tire goes out, and he's lost control. At this moment, he's trying to keep it going straight.
Yeah.
Hits the outside wall.
This is the one that's going to hurt. Watch this thing come down through here. Head on into that inside wall.
Just nothing he can do at this point.
Just hang on. And
straight into the safer barrier.
Watch that safer barrier. Watch that thing flex and shoot that car back out.
Now you're talking about a 3,400-pound piece of machinery lifted all 4 wheels up in the ground and spins it around like a top.
Probably running about 140, maybe 50 miles an hour, even
in the scrub,
at that point, trying to scrub off speed.
As it scrubs off speed, still carrying a tremendous amount of speed.
That's huge.
Here's another look.
Just can't get the left rear down. The car wants to turn right. Hits that outside wall. And watch this safer barrier. I mean, that thing bowed in, and it absorbed all that energy. If that is a concrete wall, totally different story.
You're trying to figure out which is the right lane. When you're in second, you're searching around, trying to find their weakness and see if you can't get a move on them. Whoa, we got a spin.
Turn 1, up and into the wall, hard. Wow. It's Danica Patrick.
Well, you can hear a tire down here.
I was going to say, was that another tire?
Sounds like it.
She was in 19.
She was running 19.
Bottom here.
Underneath Casey Kane. Looks like Casey went to go tuck in behind her and just misjudged it. Got into her right rear, turned her into the wall. Hard impact.
Man, right down the straightaway here. Woo.
All right, let's ride along with Danica Patrick down into turn 1 after contact from Casey Kane.
Remember, all this is happening at 190 miles per hour right here at this part of the racetrack.
She's going by Casey here, making the pass, and man, he just clips her in the right rear and turned her into the fence. On here.
Oh my! I mean, he does a heck of a job holding on to it, but still just carrying too much speed there. We saw this happen in qualifying with Trevor Bayne. You drive in, and when you get on the brakes, especially depending on your brake balance, if you got too much to the rear, we get what we call wheel hop. And the rear tires, you start to lose grip and chatter going in there. You lose control of the car, can't slow the car down, and in the wall.
You're doing about 120, probably 20. Well, I would like to say if it goes green the rest of the way, we know Trevor Bayne might try to make it. The question I have is, will anybody else try to make it? How many others will try to make it to the end?
Car in the wall, turn 2. That's Greg Biffle, and he hit hard.
Stay up, stay up.
Wow.
6th caution.
That thing is killed.
Hard.
Oh yeah, he's contact by the 5 of Casey Kane.
Casey Kane.
Biffle, left a little bit of a door open there, was closing it, and the 5 just put it right, there, and there was just no room.
Carl Edwards will get the free pass.
That might just possibly be another yellow.
Well, and I think the longer they run here,
there
the
might
less
just
advantage
be
those
one
tires.
right there off of turn 2.
Oh yeah, this is going to bring it out.
Austin Dillon spins around and crashing behind him.
Still gone.
Two teammates, Menard and Ryan Newman, all get caught up in Austin Dillon.
Somebody got into Austin Dillon. I can't tell who it was.
Jimmy Johnson, we believe. All right, watch the 48 on
Dillon
the
up here, so we watch him. 48's come behind him. Let's see what happens here.
See the closing rate of those newer tires. The 11 kind of got him loose and got him up the racetrack, and then right in front of the 48.
I think you're right.
He comes across right in front of Stenhouse.
Oh, Stenhouse just clipped him.
Nailed him.
That's going to really hurt that left front fender.
I think it's
look at all 3 of the Childress cars piled up there.
So you can see the 3 of Austin trying to get down, but the right in front of the 11 gets him loose. He goes up the racetrack. Jimmy's checked up sideways, trying not to get into him.
Stay off of him.
Wow, look at that. Amazing save by Jimmy.
Boy, and by Trevor Bayne, who got almost sideways.
Oh yeah, you're right. That
3's like a pinball.
17's pretty bad.
Well, he tried to pull it down in front of the 11. The 11 sent him into me, and then I finished him off. Clear. Looking low, inside, go spin here, back it down, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down.
Man.
Wow. He's
Watch
the 43.
the 78 dive in here.
Yep.
And he gets a little bit loose. He comes up, and then the 43 comes down, and they just make contact.
Yep. One going up, one coming down, one going around.
And a bunch of them trying to avoid.
Here it is in real time.
Man, he's aggressive on these restarts.
Boy, Chase better do something.
Yeah, he's going to have to get in behind the 41.
Turn 3, Regan Smith. Hard into the wall.
Caution. Breed. Caution.
It's a double whammy.
Watch the 7. Center your screen. 2 outside of Danica. And things narrow up here in a hurry.
Well, it's just tight racing right there. The closing rate, a lot's happening at 125, 130 miles per hour right there.
Well, the 2 cars got 4 brand new tires on his car.
To me, the 7 has to know what's going on, and know that those 2 cars are side by side. That's a spotter, mirror, and just.
I think 2 tires on this stop. This car just loose early on in this race, but they did settle down much better.
Back straight away. A big hit, and Jimmy Johnson goes spinning
down. Busher. Oh, man.
Chris Busher on his lid. and lands back on his wheels. Caution.
Oh, man, we saw 4 wide off the corner over there. I was afraid of this. Watch this. You'll see it right in there where they're 4 wide coming off the corner. You see the 3 on the outside. That's
the 35 Gilliland above the 3. Now McMurray in the 1, the red car, comes up, just brushes Austin Dillon.
Turns him into the 35.
And Dillon gets into Gilliland. Joey Logano turned the 48. And Buescher goes for a big tumble.
I didn't think that thing was going to stop rolling there for a second, DW.
Goodness.
Really good to hear he's doing okay.
There's just it's just almost inevitable.
It's like they just sucked the 1 up into the 3 and
pushed him right up.
The 3 had nowhere to go. The 35 was to the outside of him.
Not sure how much
damage. Big impact by a net down there, hitting that inside wall. Luckily, there's a safer barrier there.
Great camera work capturing this. Look at rookie Chris Buescher's wild ride down the backstretch.
It's been a while since we've seen one do this. We've seen it plenty of times here in Talladega in the past.
One thing I've noticed, I don't see a roof flap. It hasn't come open yet.
Set the 4th caution.
Remember, this car's been in the garage. They worked on it, repaired it.
And Carl Edwards in the 19 had damage from the last caution.
Oh man.
He had a tire go down or some kind of a failure there.
Yeah, right front. Looked like he had some damage on the right front from that wreck back there.
You all right?
Forwards. Look at that. 2, 22, and 6.
Chris on the leader.
Well, Brett Kozlowski's one here.
Car to the wall, turn 1 hard.
Oh, that's going to be big. Big.
Oh, huge wreck.
Everybody.
They're still running into each other. Newman's on fire.
13 cars got away. Everybody else is in it. Jimmy Johnson and the 41 of Kurt Busch.
Here comes the push. Gets a little side drive from that 27. Just gets him in that left rear.
Got him on that left rear.
It doesn't take much.
Can't do it.
You can do that a little bit in the corner where the car's loaded up, but on the straightaway, you got to be real careful. Look like just as the 41 was getting there, the 48, moved just a little bit, and that's all it took. That little bit of contact.
Boy, you just cannot push on that left side.
Go on board here, or from the outside of 48. Right there. Wow, great camera work.
Tight shot. Watch this.
Right up into Paul Menard.
Just gets it a little bit on that corner, and it turns a 48 dead right.
Yeah, sort of like the 48 was turning a little bit to the right. The 41 was turning a little bit to the left, and that little bit of contact.
What a shame. Look at all those cars.
You can see the hood flap coming up in the air on the 41 as he got close to the 41. So you're also losing front downforce if you're the car behind. You're taking the air off of the car in front of you. Really lightens the back of that car up as well. Then you make contact.
Here it is in real time.
Wow. Hammered that
wall. More than 15 cars involved in turn 1.
We've had some crazy races here.
Whatever you want.
And this is one of them.
2 in front of her. Check it out. Check up. Check up. Check up.
Oh, gosh.
Let's ride with Ryan Blaney.
He might be okay. I think Hamlin, we'll have to see if there's any damage to the splitter, but he made it through there.
Blaney's got some damage. Definitely got rear damage on the 21.
Still middle of 3.
11 went to the garage.
Yeah, so he must have had a lot of damage to the splitter.
Still middle 3. Check up. 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 Come on. Let roll up. Let roll. Check up. Check up. Check up.
Oh, there's the damage to the 11, the right front.
Just dug in.
I'm not so sure anybody made it through this one.
I don't look like it.
I've now got 17 cars with damage. Oh boy, Stanley Steamer.
Whoa, there's
around she goes into Kenseth.
Oh gosh.
Up in the air and into the wall hard.
Man, Kenseth.
Man, I thought he was going to catch the catch fence back there. The way it landed was.
I am not believing that.
He's fine, boy. He got the window net down right away out of frustration. The 4 car, Harvick.
Danica climbs out. Radio cord. gets disconnected.
Gets him up side down.
She's right in the middle, the fifth car back.
I think somebody makes contact with. McDowell got her in the left rear.
Yep.
And that
no, she hit him in the right front. And when that happened, just got air underneath the car.
Is anybody left in this race?
Let's watch from the Goodyear aerial coverage, and you'll see several things happen here as Kenseth's car comes back down to earth.
I can tell you, a lot of teams are going to be freezing those shots to look underneath this car when they leave here.
No, I saw that.
It's not often you get to see what's underneath them.
Right behind the red 21, there's the three of them. Whoosh.
You realize how powerful the wind is in that situation. To be able to take a car of this weight, what's 3,400 pounds around approximately, and just pick it up in the air like it's a piece of paper.
There's McDowell into the 43 of Eric Almirola.
Look at that.
And up goes Kenseth.
It's like a feather. What a mercy.
Now, right in front of Danica when that began to unfold was Ryan Blaney.
So 2 back to the top. Top's got to run. 1 back. Half back top. Half back. Half back top. Half back. Half back. Outside.
And next we're going to ride with Eric Almirola.
He takes a big shot. Big shot.
Oh. Nobody in front. You're spinning in front of you. We got it, guys. We got it.
Oh, it's 22 coming back.
Kevin Harvick ended up in the grass on this one. Oval. Keselowski.
Big run coming from the 18. Oh, the
Kyle
three stepped
Busch.
out.
Dillon. Kyle Busch and Dillon side. Trouble. Car hard in the wall. 2 of them. Keselowski to the line. Caution had waved with Keselowski the leader, and crashing are Harvick, Allmendinger, Stenhouse, Truex, Labonte, and everybody else. Have a look at the 38, bottom of your screen, the black car behind the 4 of Kevin Harvick. He and Cole Witt go for the same hole. Witt turns into the 4 of Kevin Harvick. That gets Stenhouse. The 47 of A.J. Allmendinger piles in. And with his 19th victory, Brad Keselowski. Boy, Hamlin got a great launch off the outside.
He's going to go up the middle. Look at this, 3 wide.
Well, Kyle Larson wasn't going anywhere. Hamlin had to make himself some room. Oh, no!
Work?
Lock it down right there.
Are you kidding me?
How crazy was that when the 2 cars started to spin? It's like it took the air off the 11.
What in the world?
That was one of the wildest spins I've ever seen by 2 cars.
Let's take a look at this and see if we can figure out what. Here's 11 right here in the middle, trying to go 3 wide. He gets up in there.
It's a bold move, really aggressive. I mean, I like the idea.
See that? At 22 gave the 42 a shot.
He sucks the 2 around, but look how it turned him.
Sucks
the 2
around.
right around, and the 11 goes into the 42, and here comes Logano, and bam, right into the 11.
Joey Logano, wrong place, wrong time. Everybody else trying to check up here.
I think they were packing air.
They were moving air.
But moving some air.
Here's another look.
Watch his 2 car. He just comes around. There he goes around, but then that just shoves the 11 sideways, and he goes up into get into
I understand why the 2 got sideways. I just never could imagine why that 11 turned sideways like that. But hey, that's the risk you're going to take when you take it 3 wide in the middle.
All the drivers are out of their cars and okay. Those that did not come back around to the garage. There's one more look.
Goodness gracious. Right here is bold. I mean, you're going in here.
Well, the 42 didn't get off turn 2 well. Hamlin didn't want to lift.
I can't blame him.
No.
You know, he's been in the back all day. He's been wanting to mix it up with these leaders, and now here he is. He had the opportunity.
Matt Kenseth, Kurt Busch scoot through. So does Harvick, Blaney, and Dillon.
Wow.
Remember, this is the advantage you also have by having a win and already being locked into the chase. You can take big risks like that. I know you don't like that, DW, but
all right, you're riding with
trying to go 3 wide bottom, 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 3 wide.
on here, it'll start to show up again. But that 2-car defending that second position, excellent job. Uh-oh.
Whoa, Michael Annett pounds the wall.
That was a huge inside wall hit right there.
Michael Annett.
Coming off turn 4 here.
Yeah,
Ooh,
slight
like
contact.
Looked like McMurray might have got up the hill just enough to get in the side of the 46 car, and that sent him sailing. Bam, bam.
That is right about where Danica. Everybody from second row back got 4. Green flag.
Whoa!
No, Johnson's out of it.
Big wreck.
Can't go.
Big wreck going to happen here on the front
No,
straight.
man. You are kidding me?
Look at who came out front, though, on the back straightaway. Matt Kenseth and Larson.
And Kyle Larson.
Gosh.
There are just no words to describe what just happened.
The 48 couldn't go, and he just backed everybody
Yeah, I
up.
think he spun the tires. It looked to me like either something broke or he didn't get it into third gear.
It just, yeah, he never took off.
Front straightaway pretty well blocked. So here's the restart.
It's a
Watch
nice
the 48
jump here.
Yeah, he starts to go, but it looks like when he shifts
That's where he shifted third.
and it just didn't, something happened.
And then here
it's
comes
on.
trouble.
It's on from there.
Look who this takes out. The 78, the 4, 47. All these cars piling in there. Nowhere to go. Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
It's going to
Bam, right into the 24.
Kyle Busch.
be easier to tell you who's not involved.
Goodness
Right.
gracious.
The 2, the 11.
Let's ride with Kevin Harvick.
Green flag, green flag. All rolling. Second out, second. Go low. Hold your line, hold your line.
And then he gets pile driven from behind.
He almost got through it. You
Yeah,
could
he
hear
did.
him kind of throttling through it, and then somebody got into the back of him.
All right, let's ride with Ricky Stenhouse.
Hit the one break.
Next, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
From the mark. Ready. Good. Rolling good. Yeah, something's rolling really good. Rolling just fine. Second. Go low. Come on, high. Keep coming. Go.
Ooh, that was a big impact right there. You could hear it
Keep
and
rolling there
see
if you
it.
can, buddy.
Man, that was hard.
Very hard impact.
Holy smoly. It just looks like when he went to third gear, Jeff, that it either broke the gear or that never went. I don't know what
Just
happened.
wouldn't come out of second.
Wouldn't-
It was
wouldn't
stuck
make
in
the
second.
shift.
I don't know what would cause it to do that.
And then back where Allmendinger and Newman were, everybody was coming full throttle.
Oh, yeah, you're winding it up in third gear. You're getting up. You got a lot of speed.
Look at Kurt Busch battling out there on the outside of the 19. Whoa! Wrecked down the back straight of the 19.
Kidding me?
Big wreck behind you. Caution south.
Well, we knew that it might be a little wild and crazy here at the end.
Yeah, that would hurt. Damn, man. Give me a break. Who was that?
That was Kyle
32.
Larson.
What an idiot.
There's Larson on the right coming up behind Edwards.
Yeah, he
Larson
got a little loose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know what? I think you're right. I think Carl got a little loose.
He was under the 41. That sucked him around just a tiny bit. The back end stepped out ever so slightly, and he had to check up, and the 42 just had momentum.
Yeah, he's sideways and Larson's on the gas.
Now, wait a minute.
I mean, I understand Carl saying, hey, cut me a break. You know, he's saying, yeah, I got a little loose, and I need you to maybe check up a little bit. And he blocked him a little bit, too. He definitely ran a low line there.
Yeah.
Pow.
That is look at that safer bear. Look at, oh my gosh, how
That's
the
a
car looks
vicious
back.
hit.
Mean.
Imagine that. No matter how good a shape you're in, that would hurt.
It picks you up off the ground. You've had a hard hit. All right. I think I might, I thought Larson maybe had gotten into Carl and caused this, but I'm not so sure it didn't start, and Larson was just a part of it.
So much for our front bumper camera.
Back 42 for the back end.
Kind of hear of those tires break loose on the Carl's car?
You know what else I saw there? The 41 about got in the wall and checked up. And I
One outside. One outside. One outside. Check up the road. Come on, come on. Check up, check up, check up, check up. Come on.
Oh, that was close.
great driving right there.
You're all good, right?
Keselowski. Whoa, Kurt way up the racetrack.
Not good.
About to get crowded.
Oh, he's coming to pit road, 24. I think he...
Trouble crash. Matt
Kenseth, Tony Stewart, Casey Kane, all torn up.
I think the 24 was thinking to come to pit road right there. When he slowed down, it just stacked them all up.
Guys, a little bit. Tony Stewart, we need to see, make sure he's okay.
Applause from the crowd for Stewart.
Good for him.
Watch the 24, right side of your screen on the inside.
Starts to wall up here. Looks to me like he's thinking about coming to pit road.
Yep.
Miraculously, he didn't get hit, but further back.
Was there contact between Trevor Bayne and Matt Kenseth? That's the question.
Yeah, he did get a little bit of damage on the right rear quarter.
See the 5 car that really hit Tony Stewart in the left front there. That's what had me a little worried. But yeah. Tony jumped right out of that car. He was fine.
Guys,
what about poor old Matt Kenseth?
Riding with Harvick.
Rolling on the bottom watch ahead. You're still rolling all up. Stay watch it. It's easy.
My goodness.
Either Matt Kenseth.
3 wide. Oh no, Stewart.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Good grief.
Tony Stewart hard on the wall off Danica Patrick perhaps.
Who else got in there? Oh man.
You can see Tony's in a vulnerable position right in the middle. Then Larson gets his outside. Here's 17 to the inside. He gets loose right there.
Oh man.
I mean, he was going to touch the...
Line up.
He was probably going to touch the wall slightly, but keep it going straight. Danica had nowhere to go. They made contact.
Ricky Stenhouse down to the inside, then Almirola, but don't think there was any contact.
I don't either.
No, I don't think there was any contact.
I think if Danica hadn't been there, Tony might have been able to save it, but she couldn't. That was her line. She was coming off the corner racing. It wasn't like she did anything wrong. It's just that if she hadn't been there, he might have been able to save that thing. Great day, running 4th right now, and buddy, he blew right by all those guys.
Stewart blasted out into 4th.
Oh,
hard on the wall. Goes, is that Allmendinger?
And Dale Jr. coming across in front of traffic.
Hold the brake here, man. You all right? Yeah.
With this lack of downforce that's in this package, we see
he's right in
Dale
here.
Jr. go underneath A.J. Allmendinger, 3 wide between the 34. The 34 actually got loose of Chris Buescher, just made slight contact with the 88, sent him into the outside fence.
And Allmendinger too. Both of them got in the
scrambling
wall.
right here. That could have been even worse. And I think they're going to have to go to the garage with that car.
Yeah, that's
the 47. Yeah, I just saw him.
I think that's more damage.
In the middle now. And right out. Up there. Got cleaned out by the 47. Hold the brake here, man.
Those are some hard licks, Mike.
Yep.
Boy, that's such a big impact that look at this right here. This padding right here is supposed to go between your knees to protect you in a impact and also hold your knee in place through the G-loads in the corners. It knocked it all the way around on top of his knee. That's how big that impact was.
Oh, you could hear it.
Vince?
You know what? That was a big hit. In fact, Junior came over the radio and...
Scott on the bottom, Danica up above. Casey Mears going to be right in the middle here.
Yeah, he gets loose, and the 44 gets to his left rear, makes him even looser, and he comes up and makes contact, the 10 of Danica. Ooh. And then she barely clips the 44. Brian Scott turns him into the outside wall. Just hard racing.
Doesn't take much contact at these speeds, does it?
No, well, we've seen trouble off that corner already earlier with Dale Jr. Chris Buescher in the 47 car. Very similar situation.
Pretty good front impact there with Brian Scott. Lifts the rear tires off the ground.
Let's go back and look at have not been to victory lane this season.
Oh,
front straightaway. A car blew a tire. Hamlin.
Is that Denny Hamlin?
Man. That car went for a ride, guys.
Heard the tire let go, Darrell, right past start-finish line.
That thing never slowed down.
Is out.
went after. Maybe he slid through.
Watch how fast he goes through here.
Luckily, that splitter was digging in and really slowing the car down.
Yes.
Wow. Bam.
And he missed the end of pit wall.
And
Both which, along with this wall, protected by a safer
You can see
barrier.
the right front pop right there.
Yep.
Team has avoided the scare they had earlier with the water temperatures. The debris is completely removed. We've talked about Brian Keselowski being proficient at restrictor plate racing. 4 wins, and we've got trouble behind him, Rick.
Around they go.
Stay down, go up.
It looked like it was Eric Almirola that was the first to go sideways and then collecting numerous cars behind him. May have been the one of Jamie McMurray. It was a light blue car. Chase Elliott. That Sun Energy 1 caught up the window net down for him. Paul Menard in the 27. Jamie McMurray trying to get it going the right direction. Kevin Harvick is involved. It was McMurray in the 1.
See McMurray and Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy comes up, but then McMurray actually comes down and gets onto the left front. It's on from there. I mean, we talked about it earlier. As soon as somebody makes a mistake and you're in this big pack of cars, you're going to take a lot of people with you. It's just how it happens. You can, some of these cars riding around the back actually got in the wreck as well. So one mistake by a driver, or a mistake by 2 drivers, and this is what happens. It's not just those 2.
And a bump there by the 48. The back bumper of Jamie McMurray. 78 of Martin Truex Jr. caught up. Danica Patrick also. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 88. Brian Scott up on the hood of the 4 of Kevin Harvick. Chris Buescher, 23-year-old out of Prosper, Texas, was involved. Also that 46 of Michael Annett, another Midwesterner.
Big impact. Jamie Murray hit really hard. Ended up getting clipped in the rear, turned him to the right. Hard impact, and all these cars, they had nowhere to go.
Of course, Jimmy Johnson in the 48 involved from the beginning.
And we're on board with Jamie McMurray. You see him just saw the wheel, that small movement. He just couldn't save it. Hard impact, and look at the multiple impacts. Another shot. 3 big hits for Jamie McMurray. Gets his hands off the wheels, so as the wheel goes left and right, it doesn't catch his thumb or a finger. On board here with Dale Earnhardt Jr. You hear him out of the gas.
Take it up.
Just nowhere to go. He drives through the accident, but a lot of damage to the nose of the 88 car.
All 4 Hendrick cars involved. Casey Kane as well. A lot of damage to the 48, the 78.
And the frustration of speedway racing is this is it. 2 drivers, Jimmy Johnson and Jamie McMurray, get into one another. Just mistakes. And their mistakes are going to cause a poor night for 15,
half the
16,
field.
17 cars. Yeah.
We're at almost 19 cars that I've counted.
And look at Kevin Harvick, how far underneath Brian Scott he is. The rear tires are on the roof of the 4 car.
Matt DiBenedetto in the 83 is up underneath the 4. And the sparks flying. So much sheet metal.
On board with Kevin Harvick. You mentioned the 44. You hear him out of the gas, on the brakes. But there's absolutely nowhere to go. You see his view, a car on his windshield. And that's how fast it happens.
Look at the 34, how fast he's coming in there. 31.
Yep, 31 also.
Ryan Newman, he gets into the back of Greg Biffle. I mean, all these cars have significant damage. The 16 of Biffle, of all the cars that got hit significantly, he probably has the least amount of damage if it didn't damage the fuel cell.
20 of Kenseth.
A lot of big names in this wreck.
Absolutely.
See Danica in it. She was a lap. She had just gotten lapped.
There's the damage to the 4 of Kevin Harvick. The hood folded back. Not even a front end.
And so go back and think about the pit stops. The pit stops put Kevin Harvick close enough.
Kevin Harvick goes right by.
Rewind.
Oh, and around goes the 21 of Ryan Blaney. Chase Elliott as well. The 2 youngest on the racetrack are around.
I saw it 3 wide. I wondered how in the world is that going to work? And it didn't.
Chase Elliott actually looked like his car was relatively in control. The 21 lost control of his car first. and had no choice as he went up the racetrack and caught barely in the left rear.
Into the corner. Somebody's got to make a decision right here. Do I want to be 3 wide? 21 gets loose, gets into the side of the 24. Both of them have long nights.
That 21 was right in the middle of the 3 wide. And we have seen Jimmy Johnson, a 6-time champion, be in that position. The same thing happens. It gets loose and up the racetrack he goes. This time he collects the 24 of Chase Elliott. He has made his way up into the top 2. And Kyle Busch is going to lose another spot, and around they go on the backstretch. Chris Buescher involved in the 34. 44 of Brian Scott also involved in this one. A lot of damage to the 34. Look at the front of that race car.
That took a huge impact right there.
So disappointing for this team. They had ran well in every practice. They showed speed all weekend long.
Of getting into the chase. There, the 44 of Brian Scott is sideways. Saves it coming off of 2. But then looks as though Kyle Larson may have been in the back of him when he came off of 2. And there's the heavy contact.
Yeah, and you saw the backfire out of the tailpipes of the 44 as he was trying to save the car. It looked like he was maybe on and off the throttle. His speed probably reduced. The 42s right behind him. You see the safer barrier doing a good job absorbing some of the impact there.
When a car gets that slow in front of you, you can be all the way off the gas and you're still pushing them. You know, Kyle Larson looked to be in the back of him, but all the trouble started, and Kyle just couldn't get slowed down.
A little bit of damage to the front end of the 10 of Danica Patrick. But a lot of damage to Chris Buescher's number 34. Another look. There was the impact between Chris Buescher and the 44 of Brian Scott. A.J. Allmendinger involved, as well as the 95 of Ty Dillon. Contact there also with the 7 of Regan Smith. Right along with Dale Jr.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Clear, 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 clear. Big wreck back here. Caution's out. Good job.
Dale Jr. made a decision to go, and he just stayed with it. Quick decisions have to be made. See the 44 underneath the 11 in a compromising position. That makes you loses all his momentum. The 42's in the back of him. Tony Stewart barely gets by. The 34, big impact. 47. See the 95 of Ty Dillon. He got slowed down pretty well.
And Rick, we talked at the top of the show about the chase grid and what could possibly happen on the chase grid. And just in the last 2 accidents, we've seen the 24 of Chase Elliott, the 21 of Ryan Blaney in major accidents. Now the 47 of A.J. Allmendinger.
Not a good restart for Martin Truex Jr. He falls back all the way to 4th. And around goes the 19. Carl Edwards hard into the wall. 31 also around. The 12 or the 2 of Brad Keselowski connected. Danica Patrick in the 10 also involved.
We're back to 43.
Ryan Blaney, I believe the 21, may have been caught up.
19 and 30, 19 and 31 side by side. 19 just gets up the racetrack. I don't know if he got loose, got tight, got into the side of 31, and behind that it's just on.
He had mentioned earlier that his car got really tight on the last restart. When we saw him go off the racetrack, you wonder if it leads with the nose. It's hard to tell. Definitely gets into 31's left rear quarter panel. Nothing he could do. But how about Kevin Harvick? Hard right-hand turn, gut by the spinning 31.
That was a big hit for Carl Edwards. That was a hard hit. And also, you know, about the 4 right behind the 19. Remember, when you get that close to another car, you're pulling the air off of that car. So you're taking a lot of downforce away from that car. You have a car on the outside of you, a car underneath, in front of you. All those things make your car very, very difficult to drive. And he already had trouble on the restart before. He said his car did not turn well at all. You take the aerodynamics away from the car, the downforce, and it drives worse. Watch the 4 car here.
Yeah, we're on board with the 4 car. You're going to see. 14 just comes up the racetrack. You hear the throttle control. Kevin Harvick does a nice job not running into him. You see up in the right-hand corner of your screen, the red flag has been displayed. The field's been stopped. This is another onboard right here with Ryan Blaney. Just nowhere to go, a heavy impact.
That hurts. You see him holding his left arm
in front and try to put distance between himself and the field. Oh, around goes the 6. Trevor Bayne into the inside wall. The 15 of Clint Boyer also. Caution is out. They didn't get back to the white. We will now have overtime. Another driver that was right on the cut line to get into the playoffs. Trevor Bayne in the 6. Free pass will go to the 34. So Chris Buescher will be back on the lead lap. And that will put 19 cars on the lead lap.
So Trevor Bayne trying to block Clint Boyer. Clint Boyer had a run on him. Trevor Bayne trying to block him. Not going well with either one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think at that point, I know they're racing hard, but with only 6 cars 1 lap down, both of these cars are 1 lap down. These are the decisions that Trevor Bayne.
We're in overtime, sponsored by Credit One. And around goes the 1 of Jamie McMurray. He'll slide back up the racetrack. Caution is out again. 44 of Brian Scott, the 3 of Austin Dillon involved.
Well, here's the replay right here. Jamie McMurray in the high line, trying to accelerate. They're past the start-finish line, looking to enter turn 1, and it just takes a hard left. I don't know if he thinks he was going to be clear in front of the 14, Jeff, but the 1 takes a hard left across the right front fender of Tony Stewart, sending the 1 down to the access road, really.
Yeah, and I thought he was going to hit really hard right here. I thought he kind of got lucky, but as he comes across the racetrack, he gets in the side of the 31. Had the 31 not been there, he would have hit the wall much harder, in my opinion. So I thought he kind of went through there unscathed, but look at the left rear on the 1 car. I mean, I'm sure it's flat because he got into the 14, but as abruptly as he went, I agree with you. I think he was trying to get in front of the 14. He saw that hole, just misjudged it a little bit. Contact.
You know, but you do have a point. Was it flat? Is that what made the 1 turn left? Or was the contact with the 14? Without a doubt, the left rear is flat. But was it the contact or the result? On board with the 14, this would be a great shot right here.
He just saw the hole. He saw the hole and went for it. You know, we've been talking about it. You've got to find your way to the bottom. Right here, there's a hole. There's a gap behind the 24 car. He sees it. He goes into it. 14 coming. That's right at the braking zone, too. Okay? So that's what makes that very difficult to judge. It's right on the braking zone, and you don't know if the 14 is going to break or not, you know, as far as where he...
Guys, this is going to be fun to watch with all this battling going on. Logano trying to get up there and get some spots. So is Kevin Harvick. And remember earlier in the race, Kevin Harvick restarted 15th, ran his way all the way.
Sideways and into the wall goes Joey Logano. The 24 of Chase Elliott up into him. The caution comes out. Chase Elliott on the bubble as far as getting into the chase. An aggressive move. Gets into the side of the 22 and up to the wall they go.
Let's take a look. They're 3 wide here. Newman, Logano, and Denny Hamlin entering, trying to go towards the tunnel. We see the 24 also trying to fill that gap, entering the tunnel turn, Jeff.
Yeah, they enter side by side. The 22 on the outside of 24. See the 24 gets loose right here, has to chase it up the racetrack. We saw this early in the race. We've seen the 24 of Chase Elliott have trouble in the tunnel turn. This is the 2nd time. This one obviously is much bigger impact. Just see, they enter the corner. They're so low on corner entry. Hamlin's clear, though. Hamlin can enter that low. There's no one on the outside of him. The 24 entering that low with that slight angle, and then the 31 right behind him. All of that works against him as having air on the side of his car.
It's a perfect storm for the 24, Rick. You have the 11 in front taking air off the 24. The 22 on his outside pulling the air off his right side door, and the 31 behind his rear spoiler. The downforce in that 24 had to be minimal. Chase Elliott, no chance to save the car underneath the 22.
Yeah, that a little bit of that is you kind of have to know it. You see they're up the racetrack right here already, and big impact, a lot of damage. But you know, listen, as a spoiler,
Get down.
they can to see if they can be the first onto pit road.
Well, in the first round of pit stops, it was that 2, and Paul Wolf was the first car on pit road. As you see, the 18 at Kyle Busch.
Oh, and a big contact. Came across the barrier, the 16 of Biffle involved. As is the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Austin Dillon included in this as well. That's coming out of the carousel. As they were getting ready to head into turn 6. 48 of Jimmy Johnson.
We'll be going to the garage here, fellas.
We've seen big wrecks on this short chute before.
Happened. Ryan Blaney in the 21. It was just behind him. Stenhouse Jr. into the wall. Back out. There was some contact made behind him, and then big contact from Jimmy Johnson.
I mean, from that angle, it looked like Stenhouse lost it off the long carousel. Got loose, leaving the carousel, trying to carry speed. Just got loose, and now he gets back out on the racetrack.
Heavy shot for Jimmy Johnson into the side of the 17. You see 16 of Greg Biffle also getting into the Armco, the 3 of Dillon. We've seen some major crashes here, Jeff. Unfortunately, I know you've been a part of at least one. It's that blind sweeping corner. So we're going to see right here the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse up in front. He gets up over that curb and just gets loose. Just hard in the gas, gets loose, comes across the racetrack. Big shot into the Armco, and then it's just so narrow, Rick. There's no escape route. The 17 doesn't slide 100 feet off the racetrack. He comes back onto the racetrack. Heavy contact with the 48 of Jimmy Johnson.
There was 2 accidents that happened at the same time. The 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was sliding off the track.
Sit ahead of you here. Stay high, stay high, stay high. Back it down, stay high, stay high. You're coming
Great
back
move by
across,
Casey
back
Mears.
across. I can't see, stop. There you go, you're clear right there. There's the 4-1 right in front of you.
This week, could it be Kyle Larson running in the 4th spot? And around goes the 4. Kevin Harvick involved in this one, as is the 23 of David Reagan. Once again, chase implications. They stay green, and now caution. Second, send the bus stop.
See Paul Menard, he had all 4 tires, got into the side of the 6. Now he's up the racetrack, has to try to find a way back onto the racetrack. A lot of dirt on the track. Drivers can't see. They all get stacked up. Now it's a chain reaction.
More than 4 cars damaged. 34 of Chris Buescher was also involved. That's the 34, the yellow and blue on the inside up against the Armco barrier. Riding along with Kevin Harvick.
All clear right there. Single file to the 44, 1 back. 27 minutes smoke here.
And the red flag now out. Big contact there again.
Yeah,
Perhaps to do service on it behind the wall at the right opportunity.
Something
and
broke
this
there.
May be it.
Yeah, he went sideways and it's broke, and now the caution's going to come out for the 18. Contact as well.
Oh, Larson in it. Kyle Larson's in it.
Kyle Larson got caught up in it. The 46. Justin Allgaier, Martin Truex Jr. involved.
That's what we've talked about, how quick it happens. The 18 spun by himself, but these other cars, as they're entering the corner so fast, you can't see around the corner.
Right there. See the left rear tire smoking. Left rear quarter panel is damaged. I wonder if something broke in the rear suspension. It was, he talked about the car driving bad and strange. I wonder if something in the trailer arm or something in the track bar mount, something broke in the back of the car, I assume.
Yeah, and then the 46 comes into the picture, committed to the bottom, it appears, and he makes contact with the 18. But I think you hit it dead on. If you look at the rear end housing in the 18 car, it's pointing really the wrong direction, not straight forward. The 46, he decided to go right, needed to stick with the position or the plan to go left.
He was on the apron.
Yeah.
And Martin Truex.
Big hit.
Martin. Wonder how much damage is on the 42 of Larson. We keep talking about him having to have good races and have a win. And I wonder if this is going to take that opportunity away from him.
Well, you talked about the 31 having trouble. Kyle Larson hadn't taken that points advantage all the way down to 12 to get in front of him in the chase standings to the 16th spot.
And he didn't do anything wrong, right? I mean, that's Bristol. You can get in a wreck. You had nothing.
Kurt Busch trying to take that top spot away from Joey Logano. Brad Keselowski was able to get by. Oh, and sideways goes the 41. contact with the 2 of Brad Keselowski. Caution comes out. The 21 also involved.
Inside. Hold tight here.
Looked like the 41 of Kurt Busch got really loose off.
Kyle Larson also a lot of damage, as well as Brian Scott in the 44. See all the damage to Ryan Blaney in that 21. Taking a little look at what happened.
You see right there a big wiggle from the 41, just very loose, and now those guys behind him, there's nothing they could do.
No.
Obviously the right side tires are up. I just think he got loose.
Yeah, and then Brad Keselowski had nowhere to go. And the rest of the cars just, you know he's coming back up towards the racetrack. So as they try to get slowed down, they just continue to make contact with one another.
Chase Elliott, not sure if he has front end damage or not, but he was very close. We see the 41 sliding there and the 2 just slamming into the driver's side door.
That view right there showed how close it was for Joey Logano, barely squeaking by with the right side of his race car.
48 of Jimmy Johnson just getting by.
Jeff Gordon cleared it down low.
Still there. 6 with the right. Caution's out, back it down, right. Go to the apron here if you can. All the way to the apron.
And now we know that Matt Kenseth also heavily involved.
Amazes me. You heard Kevin Harvick get out of the gas, saw the accident happen, but then has enough just talent, really. Talent and sense to get back in the gas. Look at Jimmy Johnson for a big slide here. But, you know, enough talent to get back into the gas to drive through the wreck before they have a chance to get up and get him. With the 24, Jeff, you were mentioning, it looks like some heavy damage to the hood and the nose. It'll be interesting to see if there's any damage to the cooling system. That's right up there in that area.
See, Paul Menard had the right front tire locked up to try to miss the wreck, so he may have flat spotted it.
Locks it up again. Coming at us.
Look how fast everything happens. Difference. Absolutely nothing he could have done.
Denny Hamlin hard on the brakes. So Brian Scott sliding in there late to the left in the 44. Dave.
He definitely got a little help. This is exiting turn 2. Tony Stewart on the lead lap. Brian Scott 4 laps down. You see Brian doesn't concede the spot. He has every right to race Tony Stewart off the corner. Tony gets loose. It looks to me like Tony's frustrated. It's hard to defend the 3-time champion at car control. I don't think he misjudged it. I think he just basically took his frustration out on Brian Scott.
This track is really no excuse for misjudging something like that, or he got upset thinking Scott should have given him the space and ended up getting into Brian Scott. So either way, certainly on Tony Stewart's shoulders.
Tony Stewart running 11th.
Earlier in the race, there was a little incident with Brian Scott. Let's go back there. What happened there?
He wrecked.
Okay, thank you, Tony.
All right.
And of course, Tony's final Southern 500.
Hold on to it.
And
Lock
it looks
her
as though another incident coming out of turn 2, and this time it's Kurt Busch in the 41. And a lot of damage to the back of the 41.
He's running 14th,
yeah,
Rick, and wow.
Fantastic.
You say a lot of damage. Seems like every end of that race car.
Take another look. To the tire have gone away from Paul Menard.
Yes, the left rear tire is definitely down. If you go back and watch that left rear tire on the 27, doesn't go completely flat, but you see the air come out of it. It gets slack, gets close to the rim. As he walks up the racetrack, he catches the left rear of the 41 of Kurt Busch. Right there, you see the left rear tire is down on the 27. So Paul really had no control of his race car, and unfortunately for Kurt Busch, wrong place at the wrong time for the 41.
So that's the 9th caution of the evening. And a couple hard hits.
Is what do you do, Rick? You've run 5 hard laps on your tires. There's 40 laps to go. If you're Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, going to be very difficult to pit from the front 3 positions. But how about 4th through 8th? Maybe Hamlin, Logano.
On short run so far this evening, here especially late in the race, trying to take advantage of that now and get around that 4 car of Kevin Harvick. You know, Kevin and I are talking about caution on the racetrack, Rick.
Hard hit for the 43 of Eric Almirola. Front end smashed in.
Yeah. I thought he was going to give me a little more room than that.
And you hear him talking on the radio. He was running 20th with.
So underneath Clint Boyer. Just gets loose.
You just thought the 15, I think, was going to be higher. And
got back into the back of him. That's Clint coming down the racetrack.
I think once you make contact to the wall, you know, kind of from then on, who knows who's in control of what. So big impact. Glad he's okay.
You know what this caution does do, though, is you see another replay of it with the 43.
Inside, you and him. All clear. All clear. All clear.
I'll tell you what it does. It puts us in position to who's going to come to pit road now.
Well, they're all going to come, Rick. I think it just goes right back to the pit stops again, right back to the pit crews with 16 laps on their tires. All the leaders will be coming to pit road, and here they turn off the banking in 3 and 4. They're entering the pit road. Made my career, so I'd like to thank them for that.
Jeff Gordon was able to win as into the wall. Turn 1 and 2, Paul Menard.
Dive bomb you in the one there. Fire it up if you can.
Difficult, so we see right here Paul Menard entering the corner, the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse underneath him. Basically, Paul Menard just comes down. It's kind of a late replay. You'd have to see it earlier on the straightaway, but it looked to me like
also rebounding. He runs the high line. Harvick up into the top 10.
Keselowski giving no room whatsoever to the 18.
And another big crash on the backstretch, Rick.
Man, and right up in front of more traffic.
You in 3.
Ryan Newman's in it.
David Reagan is in it.
Well,
Fire.
And Chris Buescher was in it as well.
Chris Buescher involved. The 83 of Dylan Lupton up on top of the 31. The Fire underneath the hood of the 23. And the 14 of Tony Stewart.
Looks like it's ripped the oil lines out of the 14.
Stop right here, they said. Yeah, get out of that big smoke.
See the car on top of the left front fender.
Newman trying to get out. Was involved in this. I think it was Ryan Newman.
I think the 34 was in it, but he drove away. Definitely didn't get the most damage, but you're going to see here the 31 and the 14. There's some contact right here heading into turn 1. The 31 accelerates, gets inside the 14 as they enter the backstretch.
Yeah, we've seen this several times. The cars having, you know, getting into turn 1, and I think the 14 just kept coming down on the 31 on the back straightaway. Wasn't happy maybe with what went on in turn 1, and
big impact by the 23, and you see right there Chris Buescher kind of bounces between them. Luckily gets through, but that was a really big impact for the 23 of David Reagan. It was great to see him climb out.
With the window net down right away.
This would be a great view of it, Jeff.
Outside 14. 19 straight back, looking inside tight, inside tight, inside tight. Yeah, wrecked hard right here. Got wrecked hard.
14 involved.
Just as it comes down the backstretch, I know the 14, I'm not sure if he's unhappy with the 31 or if he's trying to protect the position, but he just continues to come from the high lane down to the low lane, and the 31 has nowhere to go. Ryan Newman, you heard him even play with the throttle. I'm not sure he was trying to measure how aggressive he wanted to be, but they make contact and spin at the bottom of the backstretch.
Check up, stay high, stay high, stay high, stay high. Stop, 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 stop.
the 43 was just lucky nobody was in front of him. You could hear the rear wheels hopping up and down, had the rear tires locked up.
Carl Edwards in the 19 coming up the racetrack.
I mean, if did the 14 possibly have a left rear tire going down? I mean, look, in watching it looked like they just got into one, and he got mad at Newman and just started coming down on him to show he was upset, and then they got hung up. And
I mean, without a doubt, the 14 and him coming from the right to the left down the straightaway is the cause of the accident. The tire restart.
We'll watch closely as they get ready to enter the restart zone. And he gets bumped from behind by the 78. Around goes the 3 on the restart. The 24 of Chase Elliott also around. Hard contact by Austin Dillon. Also caught up. The 44 of Brian Scott.
That's real nice.
That's what I was talking about. If the 3 couldn't accelerate, how patient could the cars be behind him? It seemed like the 3 didn't go fast enough for the 78. There was definitely contact.
Put him in this position. 78 just got into the back of him, trying to push him. Not trying to wreck him, trying to push him to help him, but as you said, heavy impact for Austin.
The 18 got into the back of the 24. That's why the 24 went around.
See right there, the 78 gets underneath the back of the 3, trying to push him. You see the 11 had pushed the 48 hard enough to knock the 48 out of his line as well. Not much damage is on the 18.
And again, the 3 of Austin Dillon, a chase driver. The 24 of Chase Elliott, a chase driver, involved in an incident in this first race of the round of 12.
And that 24 had led 103 laps today. And you talked about it, Jeff. You went through all of it as you see a big impact in the safer barrier by the 3 of Austin Dillon.
And that's new safer barrier that was added for this race.
But you had mentioned it. The decision by the 24 for that split second leaving pit road to breathe the gas just a little bit allowed the 78 to go by, and the 11 moved him inside row.
Let's ride along with Martin Truex Jr. in the 78.
Come on, keep digging, keep digging, keep digging. Caution's out.
You have to wonder if, here it is for the 24. See the contact there, he lifts, collected from behind.
We're spinning in the wall.
Took his hand off the steering wheel, smart move. See those impacts, you know, that's on a restart. They're not even up to speed yet. So think about, you watch the 78, that's what he was doing. He had just shifted prior to getting to the 3. I wonder if that little bit of lag, not that Austin did anything wrong, but that little bit of lag of going from one gear to the next, the timing of spokes, it can break your hand, break your thumbs.
Outside coverage, watch the 3, get middle.
You mentioned damage on the 18. I didn't realize he hit the 24 that hard, but they're just able to save his. 4 fresh tires versus 3 on Austin Dillon. You don't know if that was the speed difference.
Points back is the 24 of Chase Elliott. After going from the highs of highs, and the 2 goes around Brad Keselowski. A lot of damage to the front end of that car. Keselowski into the grass.
I gave him room, didn't I, Joe? So you came up in front of him.
A couple times. Here he is passing the 11 to Denny Hamlin. Looks like he almost wiggles and comes up in front of him. I don't know if he needs to get out of the gas or what. And the 11 just basically makes contact. But I can't believe Denny just ran into him on purpose. We're going to have to see that look a few more times.
Well, you heard the spotter. He said, did I give him room? And he said, well, you came up in front of him. Right there, he got loose, slowed his momentum down. The 11 was coming, and that's why the problem. Keselowski thought he was clear, but when he was moving up the racetrack, he wasn't anticipating getting loose like that. He got crazy loose, had to lift off the throttle, I would imagine. Denny Hamlin got in the back of him.
Yeah, so he came up in front of the 11, but the 11 just didn't have time to slow down, Rick, and ended up sending the 2 of Brad Keselowski into the grass.
And it's mainly on the straightaways, the front stretch or the back stretch, where you're going to pick that up.
We saw it just moments ago. And around goes the 16. The 83 falling up to the wall. 3 of them into the wall as it came out of 4.
That's a tough break for Biffle. He had a good car, led some laps earlier.
83 of Jeffrey Earnhardt involved. Casey Mears in the back of the 13 there, and Greg Biffle.
Or in the middle of 4 right here, you see Biffle's at the top of the racetrack. And he's kind of down half a lane. Jeffrey Earnhardt's in the middle, gets in the left rear quarter panel, sends a 16 spinning, collects the 13 of Casey Mears. As we talked all week long, the 13 of Casey Mears not doing anything wrong. They crash and come right in front of him.
It almost looked like the 16 maybe was going to think about going with Buescher. He wasn't all the way up against the wall. Saw Buescher in the middle lane, maybe going to go there. Earnhardt thought he was going to go to the top of the racetrack, and he wasn't there, and he got into him.
You see right here, the 13 had nothing to do with it. He was just the wrong place, wrong time.
Then gets squeezed into the wall.
Yeah.
Safer barrier all along that wall right there.
Yeah, we have the side mirrors on the driver's side A-post, and Biffle, I mean, I'm sure all these cars have them.
And now, a 4-car advantage over second place and into the wall. Hard hit by the 3 of Austin Dillon. Sliding through the 13. Casey Mears gets into the back of the 44 of Brian Scott. That was a very hard hit by the 3 of Austin Dillon, though, as he came out of turn 4.
Racing real hard here with Kevin Harvick, Jeff.
Yeah, see the 4 car on the outside, Austin on the very bottom. Kevin goes to get in behind him. 3 car got loose. 4 car got into the back of him. You saw the 3 car wiggle just a little bit. Had to get a different angle to see the 4 car make contact before, and that's what got him loose. It's hard to tell from that angle.
22 racing very close after this restart.
What a disappointing night for Austin. We've talked about how good he was running. His team's starting to build some momentum. It's a good view right here.
You can hear right there, even Kevin Harvick wasn't hard back into the gas. So without a doubt, there was contact. He got into the back of the 3. I don't believe it was on purpose. It seems like the 3 slid up in front of him. Harvick wasn't, in my mind, hard in the gas. He was kind of pedaling it, and they just, made contact at a very bad spot in the corner.
And we saw the 13 as well.
Just big impact right there for Austin. 2 Gibbs cars behind him. You see the 13. He probably was trying to get slowed down. The guys behind him did not get slowed down.
And all of that damage to the front end came from hitting the grass.
Yeah.
Tore the front end of that car off.
A lot of cars getting on pit road at the same time, and I think Newman gets into the back of the 42. You see Newman has the car locked up trying to get slowed down and just didn't get slowed down. Ends up spinning the 42. Lucky none of them got into that wall.
Newman hit the commitment cone. Lead over Matt Kenseth. So Kenseth running second, 2.5 seconds behind Alex Bowman, looking for his first win. Oh, and hard into the wall. Big contact. We see Ryan Newman around. Looks like the 78 of Martin Truex Jr. was in the wall. Caution comes out again. Take a look at what happens.
The 31 was underneath the 78. Not sure it was from that.
Overtime. Bowman trying to block. He gets into the 20. The 20 slides. The 18 goes by. The caution hasn't come out yet. Now it does. The 20 of Kenseth into the wall. The 18 of Kyle Busch was trying to get beneath the 88 of Alex Bowman.
Keep from spinning your rear tires. Looks like Bowman did not launch very well. Kyle Busch made a move. Bowman went to block. I don't know. From that view, it almost looked like the 20 came down.
I mean, the 88 had the wall to his left. This would be another good shot at. Exactly right, though, Jeff. The 88 spins the tires. He's blocking 18, being aggressive, has to protect that position. He successfully blocks here, but he's as low as he can be. The 20 definitely comes down the track. The question is, what kind of speed was the 88 carrying? Was it too much speed to make the corner? I can't tell from that angle.
And where are the spotters here? This is a great view right here. See the 88 wiggling on the bottom. This Matt Kenseth comes way down the racetrack. Listen, remember where we talked about the spotters are at this racetrack. The spotters are in turn 1. The view is not as good as it would be if on the front straightaway. So I just think Matt Kenseth thought, because of the launch that he got on the front.
Go to the restart zone. Kyle Larson, the outside. Carl Edwards on the inside. Green flag back in the air. They're blocking. Go down low. Carl Edwards into the wall. He got tagged by the 22. Big hits by the 19. And the caution comes back out again.
That is exactly what we saw Joey Logano was going to try to do. Big fire of the 78. But that is what we thought was going to happen. Obviously, the wreck isn't what we thought. Martin Truex Jr. needs to get out of this race car.
Very aggressive on the restart. The flames rolling out from underneath the hood of the 78. Red flag comes out. Martin Truex Jr. is out of the car. Huge contact.
The 22 gets a big run. Carl sees him coming. He goes to block. 22 does not slow up. Stays in the throttle. Big wreck.
And the 22 really ended up getting a lot better out of that situation because it looked as though Brad Keselowski laid completely off of him, the 22's teammate.
Well, he wanted nothing to do with it. He didn't want anything to do with the accident or the championship battle. But you see the 48's blocking the 2 to the bottom.
And listen, if you're a Carl Edwards fan, you're upset at Joey Logano. If you're a Joey Logano fan, you're upset at Carl Edwards. That right there is Joey Logano being aggressive, making a very, very aggressive move, but he got a good restart. Carl Edwards had no choice but to block. If he doesn't turn left, Joey Logano's next to him entering turn 1. He's in the middle of 3 wide. Worst possible scenario for Carl. Carl turns left, trying to block a championship on the line.
I mean, this is what's on the line. 4 drivers, an entire season, a championship. Neither Joey Logano nor Carl Edwards have ever won a championship.
Really, Jimmy Johnson and Kyle Busch, of the 2 championship contenders remaining out on the track. Actually, Joey Logano's still out there, but will have a little bit of damage to the car. But those 2 benefit the most from this because they were able to get through.
What a big impact. To be honest, I've been focused so much on that restart, I didn't realize the degree of that impact.
Let's ride along with Joey Logano.
So you hear Joey Logano. He's to the inside. It gets to a point that the 19's pulled on. He's out of the gas. He's not in the gas turning the 19. He's out of the gas because he's so low on board here with the 19.
Along the way. And is this the break? Is this the break that Jimmy Johnson needed? Because he didn't have the car that was fast enough. The other cars definitely seem faster, but now he's going to restart 4th with an opportunity. And he's starting right next to the guy that he has to beat. So he knows exactly what he has to do. It's a clear.
Self for the 4. Here comes the 22. Around goes the 17. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. slides into the inside wall. Caution still not out. As they come out of turn number 4. Caution now will come out.
Restart. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. with damage on the back straightaway, obviously.
Take a look at what happened to Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
See, they're 3 wide, and he was on the very bottom of the racetrack in a really bad position. Less banking down there than on the top of the racetrack. Cars on the outside and pulling the air off his rear spoiler, and it just comes around on him. NASCAR tried to not throw this caution. You see right here, it just spins around. They tried to let this thing just continue on, but not throwing a caution. But this damage right here and him not being able to get moving as quickly as they thought he needed to, they ended up throwing it.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that 17 can do here, but what a restart by Joey Logano.